If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. As you probably know, Logic is back with his new EP, Bobby Tarantino III, that dropped 2 weeks ago. This was a mixtape, or an EP as he now calls it, that I was of course very excited leading up to. This is someone that I've made a lot of videos about before he went, into retirement, which now he's come out of. He's released several singles over the past couple of weeks. He's announced different projects, and today we're going to talk about one of these projects that he announced and that might be connected to that intro single that he dropped, as the first single after he came back. So let's talk about it. So on one of the tracks on Bobby Tarantino III, on See You Space Cowboy to be specific, he has a little outro where he talks about just the process of creating this Bobby Tarantino III EP, but also what's to come. So let's take a look at it. So in the outro of this song, he says, "Alright, well I guess I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what, I kind of feel like rapping again. You know what I'm saying? So I did. And I've been chilling with little Bobby and his mama, and we out here in the country, shooting guns, riding dirt bike and stuff, and I was just like, man, I want to do this. So I invited all the homies in the middle of nowhere, and we just decided to do this Bobby Tarantino EP, three-peat, off the cut, just for fun, just for the summer, just for all the homies." And here's the interesting part. But we actually out here recording this album. It's going to be my last studio album on Def Jam, so it's going to be a vibe. It's just going to be fun, just a fun thing. You know me, I'm a nerd. I love hip-hop, man. I love you listening. I love the fans. We doing this stuff for the fans, man. Whole time I was gone, they were like, come back, and I was like, nah. And then now I'm like, yeah, alright, I'm back. I love y'all so much. Rat Pack, baby. Yeah, little Bobby. So this was kind of a funny, outro to this whole thing, with little Bobby having a little cameo in here saying, mom and dad at the end, which was pretty cute. But let's actually take a look at what he's saying in this outro. So of course he explains the reason why Bobby Tarantino III actually ended up dropping. He just kind of felt like it one morning, and you can tell by the tone of the project. It's all over the place. My personal opinion of it is not too positive, but that's not subject at hand right now. I'm going to drop a review maybe later on and go more into detail, about what I like about the project, what I dislike. But let's just stick to what we can tell from this outro. And he says that the actual thing that they're recording, this was just like a filler, I guess, is his last studio album on Def Jam, which is very interesting because this might also explain why he dropped a single called Intro as the first single after his comeback, because all the other singles he dropped after that, My Way, Call Me, Get Up, Vaccine, all of them, they were on Bobby Tarantino III, but that intro track, it wasn't. And also it didn't really fit the vibe of it. The cover art didn't have any hints towards it, while all the other ones did. The tone of the song was more serious, more self-reflecting, so it didn't really fit that vibe. And I already told y'all in my videos that I made in the past that I think this thing was going to be on another project, probably his last project on Def Jam Ultra 85, we don't know. And he just kind of confirmed that now. So we all know that Logic is still under his contract with Def Jam. He still has one project left that he needs to drop, one studio album, to get out of his record deal. And in the past, we've seen him, not be too happy about his place at Def Jam. And he, talked about different controversies that he had with them not paying the people that helped him work on No Pressure, his, latest studio album that was supposed to be his last before he went into retirement. That was a whole era that I made so many videos about, but this time it actually looks like this is going to be his last on Def Jam. I still think he's going to do more independent work in the future. He's dropping a book, a memoir right now. He's working on a movie. He's just starring in a in a TV show. So he's out here doing all types of stuff, being very creative out here. But this looks like it's going to be his last studio album on Def Jam, and that's the end of an era, to be honest. I still remember in 2012 when Logic signed with Def Jam, he was so happy. He was like, choosing between different labels, and he was like, Def Jam is like his his favorite hip-hop label, so he really wants to sign with them. And to see this development of him, being unhappy with his deal is just a sign of the times of people just, not really relying on labels anymore to become successful in the music industry. And whatever we can expect from this new Logic project, we don't really know. I think it's going to be more of a, kind of greatest hits album, not in the way that he's going to, use old songs, but rather he's going to use the styles that people have, fell in love with him for. He said that this is just going to be for fun. I think it's going to be more along the lines of not like a story themed album like maybe The Incredible True Story or Everybody, but more along the lines of Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, even though that is of course not a very good example to choose because many people hate that album and objectively that is not a good album. But still, it was kind of more fun, more light in tone. He just used different songs that maybe he liked individually, but they didn't really have a theme holding them all together. I think this is what this album is going to be like, even though maybe with a more serious tone. We heard that from the intro track so far. He talked about, writing the raps that he rapped on that song back when in 2009 when he was not on at all. And now he's, using them again to maybe look back on his career, reflect on it in a different way. And maybe we're going to see a lot more from that on this new project. I don't know. This is all still up in the air. This is the only hint that we have so far. And the only material that we have for this new project, as I said, is that intro track. But this is where it's all, leading up to, pointing towards right now. Logic is dropping a new album sometime soon. Apparently, he's recording it right now during the summer. It's going to be just for fun. He talked about him being a nerd. Maybe there's going to be some references to that. Maybe some movie, video game references like we've seen him do in the past. And this is his last album on Def Jam. After that, he's out of his contract. He can do whatever he wants. This is something that he's been playing around with the idea of for a long time now. And I think after that, he's going to do a lot more independent stuff, drop independent projects, like, for example, that Dr. D mixtape that he dropped, Planetary Destruction, which I actually like that he, again, created a world like that for fans to dive into. We still have Magic, somewhere with the Logic and Madlib collab that he's dropped several singles for on his YouTube, and the fact that they're on his YouTube points towards the fact that maybe this is going to be released maybe for free or independently, but for that we're just going to have to wait and see. That's my thoughts on this. I'm going to drop a lot more videos on Magic, on whatever's to come in the future on this new album as we're getting closer to its release. So if you want to, stay up to date with Logic, make sure you're subscribed. That's my thoughts on this. Now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for this new Logic project? What do you think about Tarantino III? I saw a lot of y'all liked it, while I didn't like it, but that's going to be interesting to discuss. And also, do you think Magic is going to be released independently? Do you think Logic will continue to, go an independent path? And what do you think that will mean for the industry? Let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.